so All Souls Day, so that's important. And I wanted to tie in All Souls Day tomorrow, which is All Saints Day, to the readings in the Gospel. So in the Gospel, we see Jesus specifically talking about the Pharisees, and he really kind of lays into them. He specifically says, you want to listen to what they teach, but the fact of the matter is these guys don't practice what they preach. And Jesus specifically says, don't pay attention to the example they're giving and don't follow their example, because here you have religious people who are talking about what to do and what's right, but when you look at their lives, they don't live that at all. So for our Monday morning meditation, I thought it would be good to reflect on who are some of the saints in your life. Because I think as Catholics, one of the greatest gifts we have in our faith is our understanding of the communion of saints and how big that is. And the other thing is, I think, we all know kind of the classics like St. Francis, the guy who juggles the birds in the statues, St. Joseph, Mary, St. Christopher. You may or may not have a little clippy on your visor that's a St. Christopher's medal that maybe your mom gave you when you turned 16 so you'd be a safe driver. But there's a definition of the saints that I really like from, and I've used it a lot, from a 4th century Christian theologian called Tertullian, who called the saints our brothers and sisters on the other side of death. And I love that because it gives us this understanding that, for one thing, death is not something that separates us from the people that we love. It's just sort of something that is sort of a temporary impediment, but that the connection with those people is still very strong. But also that all the people of faith and belief who have come before us are very much connected to us and very much people that we can call upon. So in your life, you may have people who set examples for you, the kind of people who Jesus would want you to look to when it came to examples of faith and how to live. People who don't need to preach because you see in the way that they live and how they treat other people and how they care for others what a real Christian life looks like. So those are the people that I want you to think about. For me, I always think of Norma Laguna. Norma was a CNA who I worked with during my JV year, Jesuit volunteer year, and she was probably one of the kindest, most decent people I ever knew, who, no matter how frustrating a patient was, always had a kind word to say to them, was always there to be present to them, always really respected people's human dignity. And 2, I also think of St. Ignatius, someone who's very important to me, who I never knew personally, but who gave a really great example of a spirituality and a way of life. And both of those 2 people are people whose examples influenced my life and who I'm very close to in a sense. One I never knew, but because he was a Christian, he's my brother on the other side of death, I know that I can look to his example. And the other was someone who was very close to me. So I would invite you this week to think of the saints in your life and how can you shape their lives according to their example.